This episode of the Multi-Orgasmic Mama is brought to you by the Sensually Embodied Women Collective. Are you ready to remove all your blocks to pleasure, turn on intimacy and connection, and feel confident and sexy in your body? Then join us in our sparkly and supportive group of other like-minded mamas and women all around the world, breaking the taboos around sex and motherhood and sex and the sacred, stepping into their authentic sensual and sexual expression and having the most mind-blowing sex of their lives. Join us at tillystorm.com/sensually-embodied-woman. Hi, I'm Tilly Storm, a holistic sex and jaded coach and tantric sex teacher, all-around pleasure and prosperity advocate. If you're ready to take your sex life to the next level with my programs and offerings, meet me over at tillystorm.com. Welcome back, hot mamas. What do you think of the new intro and music? Yes, we finally got it all updated with my new name and my new website because there's no longer any censorship on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. So if you've been wondering why the website changed, well, that's why. I got tired of you all not being able to share a link to my podcast blog post on your social media channels because they were banning my website. So please feel free to head to tillystorm.com and you can share my podcast blog post with your friends in your Facebook groups and all the good stuffs. And I would so appreciate it if you did to help spread the word of the podcast. The podcast has just grown organically every month since I've started. And one way that it grows the most is when you share the podcast with your friends that you know could benefit from this sort of information. And I really don't know anybody that couldn't. Today, I'm talking with you about my morning pleasure ritual that keeps me turned on and tuned in all day long. Yeah. I have been doing a morning pleasure ritual at least I'd say like 85 to 90% of the time, to be honest with you. I've been doing it almost every morning since January 2020. And I got to tell you, I've never grown so much in a year, and I've never achieved so many goals and manifested such huge dreams so quickly in my life since when I started doing my morning pleasure ritual almost every day since January. I found that when I don't do the ritual for a couple of days at a time, like when I'm on vacation or I just get lazy, well, I get so thrown off and out of alignment with the core of who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing here on this earth that it's just not even worth getting off track. It's become like almost a non-negotiable in my day. I mean, I'm a mom of two and you know how it goes, ladies. Sometimes the mornings are just nuts. So sometimes it just doesn't happen. But when it can, if it is at all possible, it absolutely does. Because I know now what it takes to get back into my center and it's just completely not worth getting out of. So what is it that I actually do for a morning pleasure ritual, you ask? Well, the first part is that I generally wake up, go straight to my living room. I moved about a couple months ago into a new place where my living room and my bedroom were pretty much the same space. Like you couldn't separate the two rooms. There was no door or anything. And that was super frustrating because I felt like I couldn't separate my bedroom personal life from work life. And it really sucked. So when I moved into a new place, I was like, oh, hell yes, this is amazing. No work happens in my bedroom, except I'm here in my bedroom recording this podcast for you right now because it's the most quiet room in the house. Okay, so I lie. I do work in my bedroom sometimes, but very rarely. It's just when I have to come and record things. So anyway, I go out into the living room so that it's separate from my bedroom, and that's really important for me. And I turn on some music. I have a playlist. I have lots of playlists on Spotify that I love that really help me out to get in the mood of journaling. I have been resistant to journaling so hard my entire life. I hate it. I hate writing. I grew up in more of the millennial generation. I am 36 years old, but I've always felt like I did the the technology thing. Like I embraced technology sooner than most of my friends did growing up. I even had a cell phone when I was 15. So I kind of grew up with all of these things that most millennials did. So I have always journaled on my computer. I know that's like some of you are like, oh my God, I could never do that. But writing is just not one of my things. I don't like having paper around. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. I know it works for a lot of people. It's really important to be able to write it out. But to be honest with you, I have a notes file in my computer of my journal. And I just wake up, turn on that music, and I start journaling. And what do I journal on? Well, since April of this year, I have been journaling on the same prompt. And it is insane how quickly I manifested such a big thing in my life. Well, I journaled on manifesting a certain income a month consistently and on meeting my king and living in love with my king, my man, my partner. And you know what? Those things have happened. The income thing is still not as consistent as I'd like it to be. And that's still that income goal I'd set. So that's still something that is in the process of being manifested. But oh my God, I'm so much closer to it than I was back in April. And the fact that I manifested like my perfect partner, who definitely is full of king energy, and we fell in love, well, that's also, been a huge testament to how powerful this practice has been for me. So what am I journaling on? Well, I'm journaling on a prompt where I'm future journaling. So future journaling is all about getting yourself in the mindset and the headspace of having what you want right now. So you're journaling what your life is going to be like, what you're going to feel, what you're going to have, who you're going to be when you have what you want. So I write on that and what my life would feel, be, and look like when I'm being the person that makes that consistent particular income goal and has that relationship that I wanted. Well, it happened. And it's only been since April. So it's only been, a couple months, a little over a couple months, more like a few months, but it's a super, super powerful practice. And I find that when you resist things greatly, that's generally because if you actually were to do them, that they would have the most powerful impact on your life. And journaling has definitely been that for me. I usually spend about 10 to 15 minutes journaling. Sometimes I really get into it and I just journal about what my life would be like. And I just keep going on and on and on. And it's amazing. And after I'm done with that, I go and do a breathwork / meditation / jade egg practice. Now, I have been teaching jade egg practices, doing breathwork and meditation for years and years and years. And all of these things, there's not just one thing that I do every morning. It changes most mornings. So it just depends on what I'm working on, but it usually ends up being some sort of Wim Hof DMT breathing for the breath work, because I love getting in that expanded state, that expanded place where my mind just feels blown open and open to receiving inspiration for the day. And DMT breathing, I don't know if, how many of you know what that is, but it's where you're literally doing the breath to help release DMT in your brain. And it just makes you feel just euphoric and high all day. Like when I don't do this breathing, I totally notice it throughout the day. So I usually start off with about 2 to 3 minutes of that, more like 3. And I also work with moving sexual energy through each of the chakras, starting at the root and then ending up in the crown. As someone who's, I consider myself a very grounded and rooted person. That's what sexuality work does to people. It helps ground you onto the physical plane, into our 3D reality. Basically, it helps ground you. And I've always struggled with crown connection and connection to spiritual things and spiritual beings and my spiritual supports. So it's something that I like to end off my breath work with, is like a connection to the divine, to source, because that helps me stay connected to that throughout the day. And then I will move into some sort of jade egg practice where I'm just doing different squeezes and releases with the jade egg to help activate sexual energy and get in touch with pleasure, find pleasure in my body. Sometimes it could be a meditation, like a 5 senses meditation that I do. Again, it really just depends on the morning and what I'm feeling is going to serve me the most that day. So between any of those three things, breathwork, meditation, and jade egg, sometimes a combination of all three, that's what I end up doing for the other 10 minutes of my morning pleasure ritual. So my question to you is, do you want to be challenged to have a morning pleasure jade egg ritual too? Because I will tell you, like, there's a lot of, very masculine oriented, you got to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and hit the gym and, go do your meditation right off the bat. Well, I can tell you right now, I am not waking up at 5 a.m. Like, that is not going to work for me. I require lots of sleep. I need at least 8 or 9 hours of sleep a night, and I sleep very well most of the time. Sometimes I wake up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with all sorts of amazing ideas and inspiration, but I write it down and I go right back to bed. So having, a morning pleasure ritual to me doesn't mean I have to go be all hard ass on myself. It doesn't mean I have to just be super rigid and get mad at myself when I don't do it. I don't do that, y'all. I just know that when I don't do my morning ritual, I don't feel as well. I don't feel as tuned in, and I don't feel as turned on throughout the day. And this one thing that I do almost every day has helped me to manifest more of my dreams and desires than I ever did before. So also, sometimes I'll work with my nervous system and do stress cycle releases. I was doing that way January, February, March this year, a lot of it. And then once I felt like my nervous system got super regulated and I knew how to regulate it, I moved on to different sorts of practices. So again, just doing things in the morning that are going to serve you, that are going to put you in a state of pleasure and turn on right off the bat. Oh my God, it's life-changing. So if you would like to be challenged to have a morning pleasure jade egg ritual too, well, I have a very special event that I'm hosting October 11th through 17th, 2020. This is the 7-day jade egg challenge. All you need to do is sign up at www.tillystorm.com/jade-egg-challenge. Again, that's www.tillystorm.com/jade-egg-challenge. It's totally free. And it's a week because it will take you about a week of having amazing experiences like this to really feel a difference and to feel like your life is being transformed. So what I'm going to show you how to do is work with your nervous system so that you can get into pleasure and thriving. So like I said, I was working a lot with my nervous system earlier this year, and that helped me get into a much more regulated place and just release charge and shock from my nervous system so I wasn't in survival energy all the time. And you cannot be in pleasure and survival energy simultaneously. So the more that you can get into a place of regulation and thriving in your nervous system, the more easy access you have to pleasure. So I'm going to be teaching you the 6 nervous system stress cycle release techniques that I use to get into regulation. I'm going to show you how to connect with your body and tap into pleasure with the jade egg and with your breath. So just like I was telling you, the different breath work things that I do. And you're going to use the jade egg to ignite your desire and passion and really connect with your body and come to a sense of feeling sexy in your body again, just like I do every morning. So it's like you'll be joining me for my morning routine over on Zoom. How cool is that? Starting off your day with Tilly Storm. This challenge is going to be it's going to be way less giving you information as much as we just hop on Zoom. I tell you a little about what we're going to do and we do the thing. So this is a transformational experience. This is not informational. I will be on the 7th day, the 7th morning. I'll be doing more like a masterclass style to wrap up the challenge, where I'll be sharing with you a little bit about my embodied confidence method to help you ignite desire and passion to wake up your sexual energy and increase your pleasure capacity and feel sexy in your body again. So I know that some of you are going to be asking, okay, well, what do I actually have to have a jade egg to do the challenge? I highly encourage you to have one. You can purchase one at my jade egg shop at tillystorm.com/shop, but just know that you don't have to have a jade egg to do this 7-day jade egg challenge. You can do all jade egg practices without a jade egg, especially if you're someone who is not advised to use it. for example, if you're menstruating heavily during that week, if you are pregnant, and yeah, those are about those are the big two contraindications to actually using the egg, but you can still do the practices without it and just imagine that the egg were inside. Anyway, so you don't have to have one. I highly encourage you to have one, though. You will get better results if you do have the jade egg. And I would love for you to join us and take part in the 7-day morning pleasure jade egg ritual, because it's going to be super life-changing and it's going to help you get out of survival mode and back into thriving. So one other question I know many of you have are, when is it going to be? And it's going to be in the mornings at 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time, and it will be recorded. The recording will be available for 24 hours afterwards. So those of you that can't meet at that time because of time zone differences, getting kids to school, or you just like doing this stuff at night, you can totally do it. But I do it in the morning. I can only do it in the morning. So it's just going to be in the morning. All right, my loves, head to www.tillystorm.com/jade-egg-challenge to sign up today. And don't forget to purchase your jade egg ASAP in the shop, so it will get in the mail to you before the challenge starts. Oh my God, I cannot wait for you to join us for this free 7-day challenge and have your life changed in 7 days. It's going to be epic. All right, hot mamas, see you there. Bye.